So Fallout Season 2 Trailer 2 just officially dropped. And I kind of just wanted to take a look at it and discuss all the lore changes we're getting or potential implications of what this trailer actually means for what's going on around New Vegas right now. I didn't write out a script for this one, so you're really just getting the full me in this, which might be good for the AI allegations. I'm not going to go over like the mundane stuff in the trailer, the like basic story stuff. I just wanted to look at the things that are more interesting to me, at least. The first thing we get to see right here is that yes, the Kings are ghoulified, which we pretty much knew from the first trailer. We get a good look at the jacket and the Kings in general just being ghouls. I think the interesting thing to me also is that it looks like they're outside of Freeside here. So I don't know what could have happened to them for them to be forced out of Freeside and been turned into ghouls, but it is interesting. Then we're shown a rad scorpion that's eating, it looks like a smaller scorpion, maybe a bark one or even a smaller insect, which is pretty cool because we haven't seen the rad scorpions in Fallout, well, at least the TV show yet. I think with this season, we're going to get a lot more of the infamous creatures in Fallout that you'd come to expect. This next part is actually super interesting to me. Thaddeus, after he took the serum, was obviously mutating and everyone thought he was going to turn into a ghoul, which he still might be, but it looks like he's kind of mutating differently. It reminds me a lot of Harold, where Harold's not actually a ghoul, he's just a mutant with FEV. Thaddeus is growing a mouth on his shoulder. That's not really a ghoul trait, so it has me curious as to what he's really turning into. Unless it is some sort of ghoul thing, I don't know. The other cool part is that it looks like he's joining the crew. They got themselves a new companion with Thaddeus, and I think he'll be an interesting take if he's more of like a Harold type of mutant joining the squad. We'll probably get to see his mutation taking place over a few seasons, hopefully. Then of course we have Norm back at it again. It looks like he's ready to take on the Wasteland. He's going full main character with this look, and further in the trailer we'll see him leading a squad of vault dwellers out of the Tri-Vault, the 31, 32, and 33. Hank here is entering some office space. Possibly it's the vault place that we saw in the first trailer, or maybe he's looking here for that specific vault, like information on it. Who knows what he's doing in this season specifically. The next shot we have is definitely Camp Golf, and the NCR is still around. It doesn't look as populated as it does in the games, which has me curious, and maybe it's just the scene specifically that we're getting. But this is 100% it. You can see the house in the background. Almost the windows are almost one for one. It's pretty crazy. Honestly, this trailer gave me a lot of confidence in what they're doing here. It seems like they're taking the right steps and they're respecting the lore of New Vegas specifically. Then we see the Ghoul and Lucy entering a vault. In this vault, to me, it looks like it has overgrown plants and things like that. This has to be Vault 22, right? It's the only vault in New Vegas that looks like this. I don't know why they would come to Vault 22. It's the worst vault in the entire series, at least for me personally. This thing scared me as a child. It'll be insane if they bring out the spore carriers in a live action. We gotta see that. Then the screen fades to black and we get a really deep, almost distorted voice speaking.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
And I think me and mostly everyone online is assuming that this is a super mutant. This could be Marcus. It's not the same voice actor as it is in the games, but they're talking about joining them for a war. Maybe this is Jacobstown, and maybe they're gonna help whoever he's talking to in a little battle or something like that. Then we see some Brotherhood of Steel airships over an air base, or even potentially have seen Area 51, like maybe they're bringing that into the show, which could have some cool Easter eggs with it. I could see some old Zayden tech or bodies left behind from the pre-war government here. That could be pretty cool. A little Easter egg that we can get that aliens actually exist in this for the people that have only watched the show. It also seems like the Brotherhood might be in charge of Area 51. And then further in, we get a shot of this guy talking about a Brotherhood civil war and no one invited him. A lot of people from the first trailer thought that this was Arthur Maxon, but I don't think it's him at all. It's probably just a higher level officer. But this does confirm that the Brotherhood are having tensions and that there's definitely a civil war brewing, and probably is going to break out into a battle. Then we've got ourselves a Securitron with an MK2 upgrade. This doesn't always happen in the game, so we are getting a canonized lore change right here with that. And probably the scene that everyone's talking about is this one right here. Mr. House in the background on the monitor with the ghoul in front of him, which a lot of people are assuming that potentially the house ending is canonized, which it very much could be. Or this is a different timeline. We know that the ghoul actually traveled across the states earlier to get to Ohio. And maybe on his way back from that, he stopped by New Vegas to speak with good old Mr. House, because we know they have a connection in the pre-war era. So the showrunners could be tricking us here and making us assume that, hey, the Mr. House ending is canonized, but in reality, this is like a midpoint timeline taking place right here. I don't know how people feel about the Mr. House ending being canonized. I think it makes a lot of sense in a lot of cases, but I assume for the ending, they'd probably go with something more vague so that we didn't actually know what realistically happened. But I'll give them props if they're really going to stick to their guns and choose something and go with it. I guess we'll see. We also get a scene of the fort here under attack. You can see tents blowing up and a battle taking place. I don't know what's occurring here, but we're definitely going to see the Legion fighting someone, or someone fighting the Legion. I don't know if it's our crew or the NCR or a flashback, but it's going to be interesting. Then we have a shot of Macaulay Culkin here in the Legion. He looks like he's either leading them or he's like the new Caesar or something. I don't know. But I don't think he is Caesar like the original. He was probably a legate that just took the place of Lanius and Caesar once they were gone. He is stabbing a Legionnaire here, but I think that's out of discipline and not like a betrayal or of that nature. Then we get a wide shot of Vegas, and it's a lot bigger than it is in the games, which it should be. The games were obviously held back by technology, or else Vegas would have been a lot bigger, but it's so awesome to see here. It feels like the games. You have the Lucky 38 that's just towering over the rest of the city. I'm super excited for this season. Then we get a good look of the NCR power armor and a free side being populated, which means that New Vegas isn't destroyed like a lot of people were scared was going to be the case. This power armor actually leaked quite a while ago, and I'm pretty sure this is it. The Ranger helmet on the power armor looks so tough. And then we see the same power armor going to battle against the Deathclaw. This is our first real good look at the Deathclaw. There was a leak a while back with the toy, and it looks basically exactly the same. So if you're curious as to what it looks like without it like running around and being motion blurred in this, then just go check out that toy leak. I don't know why there would be a Deathclaw in the strip or in Freeside. It probably just broke in somehow and everyone's scattered, or maybe it's just existing in some part in Vegas that people just don't go to. Either way, seeing the Deathclaw in live action is awesome. Seeing the Rad Scorpion, potentially super mutants. I mean, they have to show them. I just want to see all the creatures from the Mojave. And you guys imagine the Cazadors in live action. Then for the last shot, we get Freeside again, and it's populated. Thank God Vegas is still around. Overall, trailer 2 makes it feel like the show is doubling down on being part of the main Fallout timeline, just pushing that story further on what the game's already established. Not really looking at a soft reboot in Mojave, in my opinion. We're looking at the long-term consequences of those factions and locations, which is the right way to do it. No one wants their courier story to be erased. The King's being ghoulified, Freeside looking larger and alive, NCR still active at places like Camp Golf, and Vegas itself is looking more built up, all show us small progression. Time will tell if Mr. House is potentially still in play, but we do know the Securitrons are upgraded and a packed functioning strip don't necessarily overwrite the game endings. They tell us that one of the endings, or at least a variant, actually happened. And now we're seeing what House's Vegas or NCR Touch Vegas might look like years later. The Brotherhood airships, which is possible civil war, and Culkin stepping into a Caesar-like role also work as a natural evolution instead of a retcon. The Brotherhood has always had internal tensions. Finally taking that into open conflicts, just taking the existing lore to its next logical step. Caesar's Legion having a successor or surviving legate lines up with the idea that Caesar's Legion wouldn't just vanish if one man died. So I think the big takeaway for us lore fans isn't that this erases New Vegas. It's almost the opposite. Season 2 might be the show treating those events as real history and asking, okay, what happens after that? They don't really feel like a new canon replacing the old. They feel like what the first real look at what the main Fallout timeline might look like if we kept following it forward. And that's exactly what I want. It sucks if a specific ending is chosen that might not have happened in your story. But to me, it's better than them just choosing to be vague and treat all the endings like they didn't exist at all. Or they were all wiped out by a mysterious external force. I mean, that still could be the case, but I'm happy with what's going on here. And those were just some of the things I noticed in the trailer. How do you guys feel about this? Do you want the house ending, or are you just hopeful it is a flashback? And are you happy with the trailer? Seems pretty convenient to release it after the disaster of Fallout 4 anniversary launch, but you know how it is. If I did miss a theory or something, then let me know in the comments. And if you do want to keep the conversation going, then join our Discord in the link. We'll be chatting about it all day over there. Thanks for watching, and remember, enjoyed time is never wasted time, and I'll see you guys in the next.